Hello and good afternoon. You're watching Market Fatafat on ET Now. I am Sneha Seth, and this is a show where we'll be taking you through all the big buzzers in today's trading session, tell you why all of these stocks are making the news today, what's keeping them under the spotlight, and also bring on our guest to give you a technical view on some of these stocks. And we'll be doing all of this per stock in under a minute. So it's going to be a fast-paced show. We're going to try and accommodate as many stocks as we can. Before we do that, let's quickly just take a look at what the markets are up to right now. We're at 23,657 and just nominally a few points away from the day's highest point. So looking very strong when it comes to the Nifty, a 1.3% uptick coming in on Nifty 50 in today's trading session. Sensex too in tandem with the Nifty and looking good on that front as well. It's a 1.3% uptick coming over there as well. We're very close to that 78,000 mark on the Sensex right now. So it's looking very good. India VIX, however, slight bit of caution over here because it's an 8.2%, 8.3% rise coming in on India VIX. So just watch out for how this one reacts in today's trade on the back of how much the indexes have been gaining today. Nifty Bank, the clear outperformer in today's trade, firmly above 51,600 at a 2% gain, and a 1,000 plus point intraday gain is where Nifty Bank is sitting high and pretty today. So looking good for Nifty Bank as well. Broader markets are also largely in tandem with the benchmarks today. Solid gain coming in from the Nifty mid-cap bank as well, mid-cap index as well, up at the day's highest point, and same for small cap, a 1.5% gain coming over there. Sectorally, all the sectors are trading in the green right now. PSU banks are the clear outperformer, followed by realty, IT, energy, auto, metal, FMCG, pharma, and media in that pecking order, from the biggest gainers to losers. So that's how the market is shaping up in trade today. But on that note, let's welcome on board Sneha Seth, the senior analyst, technical and derivatives at Angel One. She's joining us on the technical front, and Ansh is on the show today joining us from our in-house research team. Good afternoon to both of you. Let me kickstart the show, talk about a higher flyer in today's trade, and that's RailTel. Now remember, at one point of the trading day, RailTel surged as much as 9% after the company received an order from another state-run company, which is Hindustan Petroleum, which is HPCL. Now this order is worth 25.15 crore rupees, and this excludes tax, involving a 5-year deal for renewal of existing MPLS and ILL links and that proposed new connections that may come over this 5-year period, subject to feasibility confirmation. Now remember, late last month as well, a consortium led by RailTel had won an order worth 111 crore from the South Central Railway. So this is back-to-back order win coming in for RailTel. That stock is up almost 6%, quite low from the day's highest point. Remember, at one point the stock was up 9%. Nonetheless, very good gains coming in for RailTel today, a 5.7% uptick coming in on this stock. But let's get in a technical check on Tata Motors now. And Sneha, you've picked out this stock for us. Today the stock is holding up pretty well. Last 1 month, however, it's seen cuts. Last 6 months, last 1 year, the stock is lower, anywhere between 25 and 30%. Tell us if you're spotting a reversal on the charts for Tata Motors, and what are the next levels to watch out for.
If you look at the chart structure, this counter has been under pressure recently, but this month has been quite good. The counter is already up by 15% this month, and the move can extend at least towards 780, 785 zone. So if someone wants to go ahead and long this counter, I believe one can think of adding a long in this counter for the target of 780. The stop loss can be maintained around, say, 687, 689. That can be the stop loss for now.
That's the take coming in on Tata Motors. Ansh, you've picked out PFC for us. Tell us why this has made it to your radar today.
That's right. So the stock is in focus mainly because its subsidiary PFC Consulting has set up 2 new special purpose vehicles. The first is NEC Dharashiv Transmission, which will develop transmission network to evacuate renewable energy from Dharashiv and beat districts in Maharashtra. The second is NES Navi Mumbai Transmission, which will work on strengthening the network to provide power supply for data centers in Navi Mumbai. Now, these steps are part of Power Finance efforts to expand transmission infra for renewable energy and high demand areas. For that reason, the stock is in focus today and is trading with a gain of more than 3%.
So So PFC is in focus, almost a 4% gain coming in. We can't not talk about PFC and not address REC, because those stocks go hand in hand. We've picked out REC on the show as well. We've got news flow on this stock as well. The stock is higher by 2.6%. This on the back of a brokerage note coming in by CLSA. Now CLSA has maintained a high conviction outperform on the stock with a target price of 525 rupees per share. They believe that the Ministry of Power has given additional charge of REC CMD to Parminder Chopra, and PFC owns a 52.63% stake in REC and is the parent. And now historical records show that most top hires at REC have been external appointments who do 2 to 5 years tenures, after which some have moved on to more important roles in government ministries. The outlook on stock and expectations on financial performance remains intact. Any risk from a change in management should be more operational or short-term in nature, is what CLSA believes. CLSA is rather bullish when it comes to REC. They've maintained a high conviction rating on the stock, so high conviction outperform with a target price of 525 rupees per share. So that's the take on REC, but let's move on. Sneha, Canara Bank is the stock that you've picked out for us in today's trading session. The PSPs, of course, in today's trade are doing rather well. Canara Bank is up 4% today. Last 1 month also similar gains coming in. However, last 6 months and 1 year the stock has been slightly under pressure. Do you believe that the reversal that the stock is seeing in recent days could continue on the charts going ahead as well?
Yes, very much likely, because if you see the overall chart structure on the weekly chart frame, the counter has corrected and it has, precisely showing some short covering bounce from the 50% retracement level. And I believe, looking at the overall chart structure, any move above 93, 94 will be very interesting for this counter. So if someone wants to go ahead and add a fresh long in this counter, any move above 93, 94 would be very interesting and would be a buy for me. At this point in time, even one can go ahead and long. But yes, a confirmation for a short-term trend, I believe 93, 94 is the level. Above that, I believe the counter, the chart structure is likely to improve, and we may see an up move at least towards 104, 105 level. So keep a watch around 93 zone. Once we see an up move beyond that, then 95 is the target.
Okay, so sounding rather bullish on Canara Bank is Sneha's take coming on that stock. Ansh, coming to you, NCC is a stock that you've picked out. We interacted with the management also earlier in the day, and order wins back to back coming in for the company. Tell us about the most recent order win that the company has backed.
That's right, and the stock is trading with a gain of 1% in the morning. It was up by around 4%. From March lows, if we compare, then the stock is up by more than 20% actually. And the company has received a letter of acceptance from Bihar Medical Services and Infra Corporation. The project is for the redevelopment of Darbhanga Medical College and Hospital. The total contract value of which is around 1,480 crore, due to which we are seeing very good recovery happening in the stock.
Okay, NCC looking good, a 1.1% uptick on that stock. But like I mentioned, earlier in the day, we interacted with the management of NCC on the debt to equity ratio, which according to its management, Mr. Niraj Sharma of NCC, that ratio has been declining continuously. Let's go across and revisit a slice of the conversation that we had with him in the morning and his company's debt reductions plans going ahead. This as we slip into a short break, and we'll be right back when we continue with all the buzzers in today's trade.
The fact of the matter is, it is less a reflection on our ability, to execute, and more a reflection on our ability to, take more working capital exposure, or to say that, to increase our debt. If you really see, if you really see the Q3 numbers, it has already gone up by about, 680 crore. So it is less a reflection on our ability to execute and more on about our, ability to increase our working capital debt. But we are seeing some, improvement. Currently, as we speak, we will have order inflows a little less than 16,000 crore. And I also take this opportunity to share with you the fact that at the start of this financial year, that is FY25, we had shared an order inflow guidance with the market that is 20,000 to 22,000 crore. And as we speak, we have already achieved about 80% of the lower band. And we are quite hopeful of, achieving at least the lower band of the guidance that we had shared with the market.
Hi there, welcome back to Market Fatafat. Just drawing your attention to the bottom of the screen, a very stellar recovery coming in for our index. 23,635 is where we are and almost at the day's highest point, so looking very, very good for the Nifty right now. Let's move on, talk about a stock that's in focus, and that's SAIL on the back of a news flow that the company is likely to operationalize its 4 million tons per annum MTPA Tasra coking coal mines, which may increase its crude steel production capacity to 35.65 metric tons per annum by 2031. The company's production stood at 19.1 MTPA in FY24, and the said facility is located in Jharkhand and aims to start operations by the second half of 2026. Right now, SAIL sources 16% of its coking coal requirements domestically, and they would like to increase the proportion of domestic coking coal in their total consumption. At full capacity, the Tasra mine is expected to produce 4 million tons of coking coal annually. So on the back of this capacity expansion news flow by the company, the stock is up 2% as we speak. But Sneha, coming to you, you've picked out IRFC for us on the charts. Tell us what the stock is looking like today. A bunch of railway stocks are in focus. IRFC is also up 2.5%. Last 6 months, it's been a 16% cut coming in. Last 1 year, also the stock is lower by 8 to 10%. What's the outlook on the charts going ahead? Are you seeing some better days on the charts for IRFC?
If you look at the chart structure, this counter had been consolidating in a range since quite some week, wherein on the higher side there was a resistance around 130 odd zone. Looking at the overall development from the lower side, I believe we can extend this move at least towards 149, 150 zone. So if someone wants to go ahead and long, keep a strict stop loss around 126, 127 and go long in this counter for the target of 150.
That's a take on IRFC and the levels to watch out for. Let's talk about another high flyer in today's trade, and that's Biocon on the back of positive news flow coming in for the company that its subsidiary Biocon Pharma has received approval from the US FDA for the norepinephrine bitartrate injection, and this approval of this injection's single dose vial adds to Biocon Pharma's expanding portfolio of complex injectable products, is what Biocon has said in a stock exchange filing earlier today. This injection is a critical medication used to raise blood pressure in adult patients suffering from acute hypertension. The approval permits the company to commercialize the product in the US market, expanding its portfolio of complex drug products. So on the back of this high blood pressure drug, the stock is in focus, and 1.3% gain coming in on Biocon as we speak. But Sneha, coming to you, Persistent Systems is the one that you've picked out for us on the chart. Give us an outlook on what are you making of these mid-cap IT companies on the charts, and what's the outlook going ahead as well? Because fundamentally, a lot is going to come into play once the tariffs come into play. But other than that, on the charts, how is Persistent looking to you?
The overall mid-cap IT sector is looking good. At this point in time, Persistent would be my preferred pick, because if you see, this counter has corrected. It has made a strong base around 4,950, and from there onwards, in fact, if you look at the options activity, we are seeing decent unwinding out of the money call options, like 5,500 call option, which holds highest open interest concentration. There we are seeing decent unwinding. So I've even suggested our clients to go ahead and buy 5,500 call option. So one can that trade is again valid for now even. So someone who wants to go ahead and trade into options, they can prefer buying 5,500 call option at current levels. In case someone wants to go ahead and long in cash segment, I think one can keep a strict stop loss around 5,200 and go long over here. The potential target would be around 5,700, 5,800 would be the levels which I'm watching. Once we see an up move at least above 5,800, 900 zone, then the overall momentum can increase and we may see a sharp move at least towards 6,200, 300 zone. So at this point in time, the risk reward ratio is quite good. One can go ahead and long either in cash or in option segment as well.
Okay, looking good for Persistent Systems, and very bullish outlook coming in from Sneha. Ansh, coming to you, Godrej Properties is also a stock that's doing pretty well in today's trading session. Positive news flow, tell us what it is.
That's right, the stock is trading with a gain of around 2.5%. The company has acquired around 10 acres of land in Bengaluru on Friday, is what they have mentioned in the stock exchange action. And this project is estimated to have a developable potential of around 1.5 million square feet of saleable area, comprising primarily of premium residential development of various configuration and high street retail. And this project has a revenue potential of around 2,500 crore. Also, if we see on chart, then the stock has actually touched its 1 month high level and seems to have given a breakout from its downward head and shoulder pattern as well, giving an up move of more than around 15% from its March lows.
Okay, that's the take on Godrej Properties. Let's move on. And Sneha, Ircon International, another name from the railway pack that you've picked out for us. Tell us what the news flow is on this. Pardon me, tell us what are the levels that you're spotting on the charts for this one, and why has this made it to your radar on the charts?
If you look at the chart structure, again, we have seen a decent correction. This counter was once trading above 300 levels, 350 zone, what we were seeing, and now it is trading around 160, 170 zone. If you look at the overall chart structure in last couple of weeks, we have seen this counter trading in a very tight range of high around 166, 165 acting as a resistance, and on the lower side we have seen a strong base formation around 130 to 134 zone. So I believe the base formation is done. Now there are chances once we see an up move at least above, it is trading above 165 now. So any move beyond 168, 167, we may see a sharp momentum coming in, which can bring this counter initially around 185, 184 zone. And once we see a move beyond this, the overall chart structure, whatever pain we have seen, it is likely that the chart structure would improve for a medium to short term trade, and possibility of an up move at least towards 220, 225, that is very much possible. So at this point in time, I believe risk reward ratio is quite good considering the base formation. I believe if someone wants to put in long at current levels, keep a strict stop loss around 157 and go long. The first target, as I said, 150, 185 would be the first target.
Okay, well, on that note, we'll wrap it up on this edition of Market Fatafat. Very bullish outlook coming in from Sneha on Ircon. But unfortunately, that's the last talk that we can fit into this show today, and we'll keep it going with more big buzzers tomorrow at the same time. But on that note, we'll wrap it up. And Ansh and Sneha, thank you so much for joining us. Viewers, thanks so much for tuning in. It's a goodbye from me and the team that put this show together. Thanks once again for watching.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.